You know what, Johnny DeVito? Mm-hmm. They don't need you.
They don't?
No.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Thanks, bro. I fucking needed that right now.
They don't need you. Not you don't need them.
Oh, man, that's a really weird way to look at it. Actually, when you put it like that, I feel terrible.
I do too now.
They don't need you.
Yeah. That's supposed to be a cool body thing. Apparently, I'm just an asshole.
Welcome back to Show Me Yours Podcast, everybody.
I'm Jackie Agnew.
I'm Johnny DeVito.
And I'm Ty wants to know, real quick, that the chicken dance? Is that what that
right?
Yeah, that's what I got me.
But I just
It's
realized
a
I only know
pretty
one part.
basic dance.
Yeah, but
Which part do you know?
The chicken part. The
the
chickeniest part. The chickeniest part of the dance.
Okay, I got it now. We're back, everybody.
I'm not so sure he's got it. I'll be honest.
Either, yeah.
If this is on the test later, then I might be in some trouble. But I'm gonna look off the kid next to me and I
See you writing it.
Definitely, I got this part for sure. Right? Yeah.
Well, we usually, I don't know if the viewer gets to see it, but we usually do a little dance as the intro music is kind of like warming up or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I just felt like it was
Felt it was a chicken.
a chicken dance was calling me, but then I realized that I just didn't have the skills to.
No, but really? Because I took it as like there was a point where I saw you where I was like, you look like I might have invented something really cool here.
Wait a minute, has anybody ever thought of this?
That was the vibe I was getting. Everyone's gonna be in the club doing the wing. Bro.
That's the song when we're from like the NWA movie. The fucking like does Trey's just doing the beat for Nothing But a G Thing, and Snoop comes in and he's just like 1, 2, 3 into the 4, and like it's just like it just happened like that or whatever. I don't think it happened like that or whatever, but like that, yeah, there's a moment where it's like that's the song.
Do you think they exaggerated in that movie?
I think that everything was exaggerated because there's a Lifetime movie that was completely detached from the Straight Outta Compton film. Uh-huh. So basically, there was like a story with a young lady. I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but she was one of the first women signed to Ruthless Records and was in a relationship with Dr. Dre. And apparently, Dr. Dre just kicked the shit out of her, like bad, right? Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff that Dr. Dre, as a producer of Straight Outta Compton, they might have like kind of glossed over, there's a lot of like darker shit or whatever that was happening. So this one is kind of I believe produced, definitely based on this lady's story. So it's like a different kind of tale, but very interesting.
His ex-wife, didn't she fucking file some sort of thing against him? Yeah. I think that's pretty common knowledge at this point.
Definitely.
Dr. Dre beats the shit out of women.
Definitely, and has $1 billion. He's $1 billion bitch beater.
You can't have one without the other. Right?
Yeah. If you get to the club and they're like, how often do you smack your lady around? We're gonna have to take a couple $100 million from you just to like knock you back down a peg.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can't get into the billionaires club and not beat up bitches. It's on the wall.
It's true.
And since they put it up there, they've considered making it a different rule or whatever. But you know what I mean. The painting is expensive.
Yeah,
it's the first rule on the list. So I mean, I feel like you got to keep it.
Yeah, but while we got you here, why don't you hit that subscribe button?
Yeah.
Hit the like, leave a comment, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, leave a 5-star review. And tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell your butcher.
Yeah.
While you're getting that.
Here we go, vegan. What do we got? What are you getting at the butcher? What is she? What?
While you're slicing up that honey ham.
She knows what Daddy likes.
Yeah.
Oh man, dude.
I only know the things that I'm told to get.
Yeah. Pick me up a packet of
I
shit,
need a couple grams of honey.
A couple 100 grams.
When we first moved in together, and Johnny's like, just pick me out some chicken. So I just got him like the first chicken that I saw.
I'm a thigh guy,
Yeah.
right? I feel like anybody that's gonna go and buy chicken, the first place that you're gonna go is probably to like bone on, skin on, bone in chicken thighs.
I've never purchased meat before.
Yeah,
'cause
but
I
you got me a
stopped
pack of
eating meat
drumsticks
when
and I
I was
wasn't mad at it.
16 years old, so I have no knowledge of meat or cooking with meat or buying meat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, we're gonna get you there, but like you get the right bacons. You know what I mean? You're on the path.
He just says
Yeah.
to his Italian butcher.
Yeah.
Well, you know what,
he speaks
salami?
no
She's done
English.
it.
Yeah.
Check it, this is hard enough.
Two of these.
I gotta deal with this fucking.
I want two of these. This for you, Del.
There's a good sandwich shop on commercial that's like that. It's just like Italians, and it's just like these. There's one old guy, and then there's just these. The rest are just Italian ladies.
Yep.
And they don't give a fuck about your order or what you're doing or what you have to go. Like they're gonna make a bomb ass sandwich for you, but it's just like.
Yeah, but there's not
It's
going to be
very
like
tuned up.
any extra, any extra. It's not going to be like a Venny sub shop experience down the way where they might kind of, say, "Hey, how
Grease
you
the
doing?"
wheel.
Grease
Yeah,
the
yeah,
wheel.
Red Venny. Shout out
The
to
only
Venny.
other
Big time service.
meat that I know how to buy is when I was living in Montreal. I was always instructed to bring back Schwartz's smoked meat, a big hunk of smoked meat every time I flew
Yeah.
back home.
thought you were
The
gonna
only
say
meat that
horse.
you've ever bought was the
Because it's the only place in Canada where you can actually like have it at a restaurant or whatever, right?
They sell horse there.
Yeah.
Oh, wild.
Wow.
We were talking.
Someone
no,
was
they're
just
farms.
talking about
Sam
horse.
Tonning was.
Sam Tonning was
had
talking
just
about a
brought up
place
horse.
in Seattle. Yeah, that you can get a horse.
Yeah.
I
You're
think
speaking very
Seattle
highly
also
of it.
might also have some weird, like some loose animal eating laws or something.
Yeah. And then Dara.
But he just fucks animals. So.
Yeah. I mean that's a
Actually, he
given.
was involved in a horse scandal. Actually,
Yeah, he said that there was like a restaurant that his family used to always go to in Ireland, and there was like this huge scandal that for years they had been selling beef lasagna,
But it ain't.
but it was horse meat. And so then when they were, they were found out, and then so they had to, switch to beef, and then his family kept going. They're like, I kind of liked the lasagna better when it was horse
Oh
meat.
yeah, that's hilarious.
you never know what they're doing to it. Do you have any hang-ups as far as like what you're eating? Like if you were in a place and something was being served, would you?
No, I'm like pretty. I mean, I was vegetarian for like over 10 years.
Yeah.
Like when I was in some places, I kind of missed out on some of the food. Like luckily, Central America's not like it's just like. It's like red snapper and like red beans and rice.
Okay,
kind of
yeah.
throughout the whole thing. So it's like
Right.
I feel like I miss a crazy ton.
Seafood based, yeah.
But no, I don't have any like if I'm at some if I don't know, for some reason I'm in the fucking like remember what was that story with that lady in the Arctic, like she was like some politician or something like that. She was like up in the Arctic or whatever with that, and they had like some seal and they like cut her a piece of the seal to eat, and she ate it, and it was like a huge fucking outrage. And I was like, well, no, it was like this like really nice offering from the people up there because like that's what the fuck they eat.
Totally.
And I would totally do that. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Fuck yeah. I think up north is really wild. I used to work with a dude named Dustin, and Dustin was he was born in like the Baffin Islands, like way up north.
Damn.
And his dad was like the handyman of this like whole town or whatever, right? So it was so isolated that you could only drive in the wintertime when everything was frozen. You'd have to fly in every other time of the year. So he was in this community where basically there was, you're not going to get like Snickers bars and anything like that, right? So they would have like a cold room and like attached to everybody's home where basically a seal or whatever you've caught or whatever is just like chilling in there. And if you were hungry, then you just go and cut a chunk off of that thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And take it to town. And when he was in like elementary school and stuff, the ladies that were like, looking after the playground or whatever, your little playground monitor, they would have like snacks for the kids. And those snacks was basically just like a leather pouch filled with like frozen fish eyeballs.
Wow.
Like you're fucking,
Yeah, bro. And I was like,
you're
get
a
the
dog just being trained little sack.
Yeah, man.
They got a little clicker.
It was really weird because when I was young enough at the time that I hadn't met anybody that had like, lived in, any other, wild situation or whatever, right? Other than just like, city living or whatever, that I called bullshit on it. And he went to like Safeway that night and bought a fish and cooked it for dinner or whatever, but froze the eyeballs so that he could come to work the next day and fucking pop them in his mouth for me.
Wow.
Yeah. And he offered me one and I said, not a fucking chance.
Yeah.
But he ate them. And then like, he'd keep telling me stories about like just him growing up. And then, he didn't realize how crazy life was, because he could like, you know, he's a handy guy. He wouldn't like, he's not comfortable just sitting on a couch and watching TV or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But when he's telling me the stories, I'm losing my mind because he's never turned a light switch on until he was like 13 years old.
Yeah.
Fucking insane. So yeah, if you're up there and somebody's gonna, you know what I mean, give you a chunk of monkey, or you know what I mean, a bite of seal or something like that.
That's kind of a tough one. The monkey, I think
Monkey
the
be
primate
weird.
is a tough one.
I think all of it,
Yeah.
would
But
be
I'm
super
like,
weird.
the
There's
primate one's a tough one. But
Yeah.
I'm like, under the right circumstances.
have you ever seen Mondo Kane?
If I was like if my name was like I don't know, if I was like a famous actor kind of guy and I was into eating people, seems to be all the rage right now.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
dude, Army Hammers and stuff like that. You know,
Dude, Army Hammer eats people.
100%.
What a sentence in 2022.
Yeah,
Right?
right?
That's crazy.
First of all, your name's Army Hammers.
That's
Like,
what I
you already-
mean. Like,
you're a
this
handsome
is-
man. You're super talented and shit like that. Also, you're a sexual deviant
Yeah.
who, I mean, I'll go ahead and
Like
say it right now. You heard it here
cannibalism.
first. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's eating people.
Yeah.
You know, have you guys ever seen Mondo
For
Kane?
pleasure. No.
Mondo Kane is a fascinating Italian documentary of just
Course
kind of
it is.
showing the.
Yeah.
There's a great film industry over there. Check them out. But it's
It's
kind
not
of
like a how to cook people.
No,
sort of
That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
First,
Great Italian documentary.
very hard to find. Some might have it in the snuff category, but what you experience throughout this film is just kind of it's almost like a Discovery Channel thing of check out weird shit in different places of the world, right? But it's so it just like happened to be produced by an Italian company, and they have like a English dubbed over version, so you don't even know it's Greaseball fucking Ginzos that did the fucking thing. If you want to go white about it, you can go white about it. Anyway, what happens in this fucking film is
You say it as if you're watching it in Italian.
of course I'm not. I fucking wouldn't be able to understand it. Come on. Nice people over there. But anyway, so what?
Great film industry.
There's but there's fucking places in the world that are fucking wild, and they're documented in this movie. Like in particular, there's one place in Singapore that they bury their dead at sea, and so
That's cool.
so the sharks in this area have now become accustomed to human flesh over the course of like hundreds of
Oh.
years.
Can't be
These
swimming.
people,
Yeah.
exactly, right.
Yeah.
So it's also like I guess the irony of it there is that like one of the biggest like exports or whatever that they use is basically like hunting like shark fin and shit like that, right? So these people are out
hate
there
that.
in boats, and they're kind of like hunting shark fin. Sharks just for their fins, sorry, and it's fucking horrific, right? They're like, they're cutting the things off and throwing them back and whatever.
Yeah.
But when they're on the beach, they're kind of processing all the stuff that they have, like all their catch for the day and stuff. You look down the beach, and every single fucking person out here is missing like a leg or an arm or something like that, because shark attacks are so common. Because
That's
they're
wild.
so
It's
specific.
wild that they're still at the beach.
Dude,
Yeah.
it's nuts. Man. You're watching this thing and you're like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
And when they dive down, there's like because they dump their, they have like a spot or whatever where there's fucking mountains of skeletons, dude. It's the wildest fucking thing you'll ever see.
Oh, man.
So like that's a really cool part of the movie. But like on the other side of like eating stuff, it shows you, I believe somewhere in Asia where they. There's just like a market or whatever where this like this woman is just walking through or whatever, kind of deciding what she's going to cook for her fucking family, and they have all these different snakes that are like in season and out of season and stuff.
How
So
to
she's-
see the snakes?
I guess I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they said.
my God.
And then they
But
kind
you
of
can't get a viper right now.
dude. Yeah,
Yeah.
no,
No.
it's not
They're
viper
not
season.
in
You want to go
season.
cobra hunting?
Yeah,
Trust me.
yeah.
Trust me.
Yeah,
You
so
want to
this-
go cobra?
You want to go cobra?
no,
All of a sudden,
yeah.
this Asian man's just a like, come on. So with it,
I still had it in Italy in my head. I don't know why.
it's an Italian film. It'll stick with you. So when she like orders the snake or whatever, and it's just a very very fucking cool exchange between these two people, and they're just kind of having a conversation, maintaining eye contact while the guy's like, okay, you want this one? And he like pulls it out and he steps on the tail and like without even breaking eye contact with her, like slits it and like fucking like kind of like prepares it very quickly for like skins it or whatever immediately, pulls the skin off and just hands it to her, and she just puts it in her bag and blah 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 and continues on her way. And at the same time there's dogs in crates and stuff like that, like it's like, so it's really fucked up at that point. And these people are just like they're sitting there's like an outdoor restaurant here, some people are enjoying their meal and stuff, and then they kind of like take a picture, or you know what I mean, they're showing the people enjoying themselves, they're showing the plates of foods, and then they're cutting to the dogs and stuff like that, and you're kind of getting the idea that this is what they're doing in that part of the woods, right? So I think I would have some hangups probably about the dog thing, especially if they're in a fucking crate right next to you while you're being served them. I think that's not very cool, but this it's a wild world, baby.
Yeah, I think we discussed this week while watching Survivor that would definitely be my Achilles heel in Survivor.
Big
Luckily, in the newer seasons, they're not as savage. But like in the old seasons, they're fucking like when they give them fucking chickens and you like I would be like the bitch that's like crying.
Oh,
I
yeah.
couldn't.
See,
I
I even said that when I was
handle it.
vegetarian. I was like, I'm vegetarian, but if we were on a desert island, I'd be first to eat you.
I
You saw me in
can't-
the elevator. I was throwing to cannibalism very quickly.
Yeah, I can't do it. And then in the season we're watching now, they're on Cook Islands, and for whatever reason, there's a lot of fucking octopus in this area, and they fucking keep like killing these octopus, and I get so upset every fucking time. Like imagine like being in a like area of the world where you're lucky enough to see all these fucking octopus, and you just fucking. You're killing it, yeah. So
Imagine
That
being
would be
in
the thing.
imagine being in a
I
place
know.
so beautiful with somebody so
but so that would be
starving, trying to
I
eat
know,
some food.
but that
Jackie
would be my
spearing
downfall.
you for
Okay.
thinking about spearing an octopus.
That would be my
Only
downfall.
good
I
thing
wouldn't
I
be
can
able
say
to
about them
handle
doing
it.
the octopus thing
Yeah.
is the like cephalopods in general are the most sustainable thing that you could be eating out of the ocean. That's
But they're-
like, I
but-
hear what you're saying, but like out of like any fish that they could be eating or anything else there, it's like. But I hear you. I hear
just
you.
wouldn't
Oh,
be able to.
yeah. Oh yeah, I got one on the leg.
Yeah.
They're fucking dumb. Yeah.
I just wouldn't. Yeah, I like cannot. I can't handle it. You know, like I just can't. I can't. Yeah. So that would definitely. But though, like I said, in the newer seasons, you don't really see that shit as much. So
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the part of the world that they're in because they're
Yeah,
kind of
they're
doing
in
the same.
Fiji
They're on
now.
the same island.
they have a
for-
lot more like fruits and all of that stuff. I think they probably have a lot more knowledge about other shit you can get. People aren't. And
Yeah.
like in fucking season 2 in Australia when Michael kills the pig, that was fucking difficult to watch. Yeah.
Yeah. I
It's
do
heavy. I
remember
think
that.
Adrian
Yeah.
said that there's something wilder coming up in one of the seasons. So I'm
Yeah,
looking forward to.
That's
he
my
told me to
least
buckle
favorite
up.
part of Survivor is watching that shit. Oh, I can't handle it.
How hungry do you get to the point where they just see like a guy that's not camera crew, like just a just a tribesman just walking through the thing? Just get him.
Yeah.
I feel like it's still on television, right? So you're never gonna resort to like
I'd
dire
fuck up the
straits.
camera guy. He just
Yes.
fat dude sitting there.
Yeah, dude. I always
a
picture,
sandwich.
I always fucking picture him with a sandwich.
Of course, yeah.
Every time, like a hero sub too.
I think it's because like every show growing up, whenever it like panned over to a camera guy, it was always some schlub eating a sandwich.
Yeah.
Shout out to
Yeah.
Scream last night. Kenny, when I say get over here, I mean get your fat tub of water
Yeah.
ass over here
Oh,
right
Yeah.
now.
so good. But yeah, I think I would be able to handle not eating. Like I think I'd be able to handle the hunger well, but then the problem would be people would be like, this bitch isn't eating anything we're catching. Like she's gonna be a problem in challenges. So that will be my ultimate
Yeah,
downfall,
that would be an
probably.
issue definitely. Like I get real upset when I'm not eating too, right? That would be
Yeah.
just like, oh, I'd be a moody bitch.
I
It
think
would-
I'd be okay with it. Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah. On that note, Bigfoot sighting in North Carolina.
Shout out to the lovely people of North Carolina and
South Carolina.
So shout out to the lovely people of South Carolina. They like barbecue and Bigfoot. I fuck with them.
3 visitors to a state park in South Carolina claim they saw an animal they believe could be Bigfoot. The 3 people visited Hunting Island State Park on August 3rd and reported seeing an animal that was 5 to 6 feet tall and walking upright retreat into the woods from the roadway. The people were unable to take a photo quickly enough, but reported the sighting to park staff and to the Bigfoot Field Researchers Organization.
Shout out to Moneymaker, that fucking asshole.
Shout out to Moneymaker. According to the report, the animal had legs that were approximately 3 feet long, human-like jointed knee with dark brown, splotchy black hair that was approximately 2 inches long. The report continues, we were all in a state of amazement as to what occurred as it happened so quickly. We have enjoyed taking many vacations at the park throughout the years since we were children in the 50s to the present day. While the area is abundant in wildlife, we have never witnessed anything like this in the past. The park superintendent informed the group he would take the report as a credible incident and initiate an investigation.
Can we rule out that this was not Adam Jacobson?
I mean, we can never rule that out. But what do we think? What do we think about South Carolina Bigfoot sighting? The Sasquatch of South Carolina.
The South Carolina
The
Squatch?
Sasquatch lina.
Sasquatch liner.
The South Sasquatch
I mean,
lineup.
I'm very into it. I love it. I honestly do. I think that like shout out to the Carolinas. I mean, in North you got great basketball, and
Yes, you do.
and in South you got
You don't hear a
barbecue.
lot about South Carolina.
I think in I'm
rubs? What
yeah,
kind of
well, yeah,
barbecue do
babe.
they
See,
like?
that just goes to show how vegan you truly are, because I hear a lot about South Carolina. One of the specific like mainstays or whatever of like barbecue. There's like a Louisiana style, there's Texas style, there's Kentucky and stuff like that. South Carolina definitely has a strong foothold in there, and through like Food Network and stuff, Top Chef. There's they're really revolutionizing the idea of Southern cooking down there, and I want to go down there and check it out. There's a lot of cool things that are happening.
Okay, we can see the Squatch. We can check out Hunting Island National Park.
I would
love
get
that.
into the national park. That's like that helps your credibility right
Oh,
there.
yeah.
This
100%.
isn't
it
some
does.
fucking 24-hour fitness story.
Yeah,
some
right?
fucking
Yeah.
assholes running out of a car into
This
a
is
parking
a
lot.
preserved
Oh
area,
no,
which
that's
is-
just Brendan
yeah.
Washburn.
Yeah,
It's a bump.
that's an interesting point. Does it has it been looked into like protected areas? Presumably, those are where the Sasquatch are thriving because people aren't allowed to be hunting, aren't allowed to be mucking around with the natural habitat there. So there must be a lot of fucking places that they're hiding out in these parks.
Well, in Canada, the amount of land that we have that is unpopulated is vast, right?
I mean, it's a little bit different
in the
out
States,
west.
it's a little
There's
bit
a lot
different,
of mountainous and forested areas that's a lot easier for them to hide. But
I mean, but as we know through our Northwoods Law experiences,
Of
that
course.
there's definitely some densely forested areas and shit like that over
yes.
over on the east and definitely down into Carolinas. These national parks that they have and the national park system in the States kind of kicks ass. You can get like a pass and stuff like that, and kind of
that's
like
great.
in camp, and it's a really cool
you watched
system. If
the
you live down
National Parks Netflix series?
there. No,
I have not. No.
Oh, it's actually great. So it's like a nature documentary, but it's about all the national parks around the world, narrated by Obama.
that one was weird.
Yeah, so
I
like,
remember
so at first I was, so I'm,
Sasquatch from South
as,
Carolina?
yeah, at
doing
first
the
as,
same
I like Obama better. I like post-presidency Obama
He's a
better.
little
When
more
he's not
relaxed.
dropping
yeah,
bombs.
when
on
he's
innocent people?
when he's not being like super hypocritical and all, you know,
Yeah.
it's easier to like him. And so I was like, you know what, like I'm kind of over my beef with Obama.
I mean, everyone always loves. You love an ex-president.
Yeah, right.
Oh,
Even
George
people,
W.
I was gonna say people are
he's
getting
the most
behind George
lovable
Bush.
idiot
Yeah,
ever.
he
He
does. Yeah.
He was great.
No, I'm not saying.
I
I'm saying
forgot every
people are-
Michael Moore movie I
I'm
ever
saying-
watched.
I'm
I
saying-
don't
you just say an old man just
Yeah.
happily painting
Yeah,
pictures.
I'm saying that, but
Come
that
on,
is the
man.
no.
Talking
I'm
about?
saying that is.
Orchestrated the fucking.
I'm saying that's the trend though. People tend to forget, kind of tend
Totally.
to. Anyway, so I was like, you know what?
You know who I liked
Obama-
after their presidency? Kennedy.
But I was like, you know what? Obama has a nice voice. Like, this is gonna be fun to watch him narrate, and it's a great series. Except, it's so funny to me, because they keep coming back to this point that like we need to protect these parks and we need to protect the earth because of climate change. And each episode, it kind of gets more aggressive. Like Obama talking about how much we need to protect
Yet
this
another
earth.
ex-president
And-
or vice president thing. Just like
Yeah,
go
and
hard
how-
into climate change.
Yeah, and then like how like we need to do more, and then at the very end of the series, the last episode, it's like this fucking 5-minute long speech from Obama about how we all need to be voting smart and campaigning and doing all this work to save the planet. And I'm like,
Bait
you are
and
the most
switch.
powerful
Bait and
person.
switch.
Yeah, exactly.
I was like,
The
you were the
100%.
most powerful person in the world for 8 years.
Don't tell me about climate control. Like, you were the president.
Yeah,
just- Why are we
exactly.
talking
And
about this now?
How much money went into your pockets from
Exactly,
fucking
yeah.
oil lobbyists? From
Exactly.
fucking, you know
like
what I mean?
you
from
made
the
it
forestry
worse
industry,
for
from
8 fucking years, and you arguably were in control during the most crucial time. Because at this point, we're almost too far gone. You know?
Oh, totally. At 2008,
so-
the
we were-
fucking after the
Yeah.
recession and shit, that we had a real
I think
chance
we
or
were
whatever
too far
to.
gone in the 70s, probably.
Oh,
dude.
for sure.
Yeah, but like
Sure, it's
during,
fucked.
I
Like, it
mean,
has been
during
fucked.
his time was kind of like a very critical point, and he only made it worse. And so then it disrupts your enjoyment of this really interesting series when Obama is lecturing you on
That's
the
the thing.
importance
It's
of
because
saving the
fucking-
planet.
That's what it always
Yeah.
is. It always comes down to like it's like the green tax and all these things that can like help the individual person feel like an absolute piece of shit in their
Exactly,
day-to-day
yeah.
thing
Just
because the
putting
one
it on
straw
you.
that they're making, when you saw Seaspiracy or whatever, when it's like 90% of this pile of garbage that's in the ocean or whatever that's like impossible to fucking clear out is left over from fishing industry and fucking nets and all that kind of shit or whatever, right?
Yeah.
It's really not
It's putting
like
the
it's definitely great for like one person to to be conscious about that and definitely, make good decisions as far as, the planet is concerned. But the fucking thing was what is with the, like the commercials and everything that's like the media, every sign that you see on the bus, it's all funded by, like corporations or whatever. They get, government subsidies and like,
they're
and get
trying
money
to put the onus on the consumer.
Exactly, right? If we're talking about like a carbon footprint, fucking BP oil could just like stop operating for one day.
Not Boston Pizza.
Not Boston
Oil.
Pizza oil.
No, Boston Pizza
Although
oil.
I'll say,
that's a
after
little bit
eating-
more delicious.
Jesus, I was gonna say Boston Pizza oil is the film on top of the toilet water.
Whatever that, yeah. Although after eating a couple brews, I was literally oiling out of my ass.
100%.
I had a good Boston Pizza experience.
You really did, yeah. How
That shit was
vastly
rocket fuel,
different
man.
our experiences were. Jackie was
Totally.
you know what?
It was like
you
every-
would be fine as if I were just eating fucking nothing. You survived on cardboard.
Survivor was at a single mom's house in Trail, BC, where she's just getting ragu and pasta every fucking day. Kick ass.
But yeah, and it's the same shit with the fucking how in Vancouver now we have to pay extra for fucking paper bags and paper cups and all this shit. It's like, again, like the consumer has to pay for, and it's not making a fucking difference. Anyways,
Nice. Did we get
Bigfoot.
Did we get political there in between a Bigfoot story?
So this story, unfortunately, there's not much that can be done to look into it since they did not obtain photographic evidence. Of course, we can keep an eye on this area going forward.
Oh, absolutely, we will. There's been a lot of shine on Oklahoma for our Bigfoot researchers because of all the bullshit that they're doing there. So it's fun to see, a nice positive story come out of a different part of the woods. And I have no reason to, to call bullshit on this lovely family's story and
Maybe
sighting.
they've been coming to this park forever, and they're like, "How can we leave our name on this park, though?"
Exactly.
Oh, definitely. Okay.
Making
All right.
big
Play
crazy
devil's advocate.
ass fucking
For sure.
shit.
There's
Got it.
100%.
Maybe.
There's A guy just found out that his wife's leaving him and his son is gay, and he's like, I just want like something to commemorate us as like a family for our last
Right.
weekend. You know what I mean?
He likes
last
the backstory.
Totally.
Yeah.
Right? Like this man's walking through the forest. He's like, well, I know it's all over and this whole thing is going to come crumbling down. So if there's one thing that I can do to make a memorable weekend, for my family before they go off on their own adventures, obviously, my wife's
It's
going
to dress up like
Yeah.
Bigfoot.
yeah, totally right. My wife's gonna go
Yeah.
keep fucking the neighbor, and my son's gonna keep fucking the neighbor's son. So basically, I'm just gonna be alone, just like fixing the Camaro by myself, lonely on a Saturday for the rest of my life.
So
right?
you have to
that
create
could
memories.
Not a bad
for
life,
sure.
guy.
Could
Not
be.
a bad life.
But what this
But call your son. It's not that big of a deal.
what this story reminded me of, which I'm sure some of you have heard about, is BinderCon 2022.
Did Sahib send you this?
Dr. John Bindernagel Memorial Sasquatch Conference happening in Comox on Vancouver Island 2 weekends from now, Saturday, October
Do we go?
29th.
Do we go and film a fucking...
Wait, is this the 29th? We have we got Die Job coming. Shit, we could reschedule. I'm very excited
So
about that.
it's
about that shit.
it's a Sasquatch. So John Bindernagel was a premier Sasquatch researcher and believer on the island who has recently passed, and so in his honor, they're doing a big conference in Courtney, BC.
R.I.P.
It's
Bindernagel.
the Courtney is like the Duncan to Maple Bay to any where my parents' house is in Maple Bay, and then Duncan. Comox would be the Maple Bay, and Courtney is the
Gotcha.
Duncan. Courtney's a shithole, is what I'm trying to say.
Oh, okay. Beautiful. We did comedy there. We loved it.
No, we didn't.
Yeah, wasn't that where the fire bar or whatever is the first show on the tour?
No,
No, that
that's
was
in
Courtney.
Victoria.
That was like Quadra.
Oh,
Yeah,
that side.
Courtney's North Island.
Oh, okay,
That's
cool.
like where my mom lives.
wrong again.
So, but the other interesting thing, so my mom sent me this, the information about BinderCon. But what I also found out is that there is a Sasquatch Island Facebook group. Who
Jackie is now an admin of.
yeah. But what they have some great stuff on here. Look at the the lanyards for BinderCon. That's pretty sick.
Very dope. For the listener, we're
Right?
looking at like a classic Patterson Gimlin Bigfoot Sasquatch stance kind of in the walk, but
it's like a
filled with indigenous art.
Yeah,
Very cool.
First Nations art. It's very cool. It's almost worth like signing up and paying whatever the fee is.
Just for the lanyard.
Just for the lanyard,
Sure.
even if we can't go. But this group also has an interactive map of Bigfoot sightings that have happened on the island through the years. Yeah, I'm currently trying to find it. If you want to.
Oh no, we definitely we can
Filibuster for you.
yeah, exactly. We could take the lifting from here. I mean, I'm very curious to see the density of Bigfoot sightings in relation to Bindernagel's home. You know what I mean, right? Because at this
Right,
point, right
okay.
now, as soon as, because like rest in peace, Mr. Bindernagel.
So it's not a thing that was
Bindernagel.
created. It's actually you can add to it. So here's for the listener, you'll see what I'm holding up is basically a map, an interactive Google map of the island that is filled with markers of various types of Bigfoot sightings. They are kind of filtered by. You can see a foot like where it's just footprints, where it's a confirmed sighting, where they just heard noises of
Any
Bigfoot.
poops?
I'm sure there's some poops on here.
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah.
There's got to be a poop one.
There's just a Bigfoot scat guy. He's like, man, he doesn't look for the footprints. He's only looking for shits.
Yeah.
So I go to where I'm from, around Duncan here. So we have
Right in town.
Yeah, one right in town. We have a footprint right close
Right
to.
outside the local bar.
Yeah.
That's just Larry.
24 hour.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So we have a footprint
Larry.
actually right close to where my parents' house is. So June 2003, Francis Joe reported finding large human-like footprints in his strawberry field near Duncan in June 2003. The tracks were 15 inches long, running in a straight line, and were about 3 feet apart. Francis Joe stated, "That's not the tracks of an ordinary human. You could tell if it had shoes on." His fields are bounded by bush to the north and the Cowichan River to the south. The Cowichan First Nations people call the creature believed to have made the prints Tumquas. So that's what they named.
Tumquas.
So it's actually a really cool map. So let's
That is
see this
badass.
one in Duncan. 1928
Ooh.
in Duncan. Henry Napoleon in 1928.
Can you
Historian
get a photo? Stand still.
Jason Ovid Allard, who was investigating Sasquatch legends, interviews Henry Napoleon, a member of the Callum Washington tribe, while Napoleon was in Duncan. Napoleon told of an encounter he had as follows. There was no location provided for the incident. However, it appears it was on Vancouver Island. Okay, so he was interviewed in Duncan, and yeah, whatever. I had been warned not to go too far into the wilderness, but in following a buck I had wounded, I went in further than I expected. It was about twilight when I came across an animal that I believed to be a big bear. The creature looked up and spoke to me in my own tongue. It was a man about 7 feet, and his body was very hairy. Napoleon went on to tell that the creature invited him to meet the rest of his tribe.
This is the big show.
He followed his towering guide along an underground to meet the others. The strange tribe, he said, hibernated in the winter and during the summer kidnapped women and children from coastal villages.
Oh.
Allard noted that the tribe had been virtually wiped out by strange natives from the Forbidden Plateau years earlier. Oof. That's not a favorable account.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Any account, I think, from the 30s, you just have to, you got to remember that these
gotta
were
take
these
that
were
with a
much
grain
rougher
of
times, right?
Man,
Yeah.
see? He was hairy, yeah? Big hairy guy, yeah?
Big hairy guy, see?
Yeah. Took him back to his house, yeah? Introduced me to his family.
Oh,
There used to be a whole bunch of them, but the bad gang from the Badlands. They took them over years ago, see?
Here, there's some around. They got some in Vancouver as well. There's one. Okay.
Maine and Hastings.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Ooh, there's some. Okay, one.
That guy smells like Sasquatch.
Market.
Outside of Coquitlam, December 1999, a woman reported that she was followed and then apparently chased by a Sasquatch in the Vancouver Lower Mainland during the 90s. She remarked on the slapping sound of the creature's feet as it ran behind her.
That
along
ain't
the
his
pavement.
feet,
That ain't
lady.
his feet.
I was gonna say, I have bad news for you, lady.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is a super interesting map. I will post a link to it. And for those wondering about the Facebook group, I will tell you it's a pretty rigorous questionnaire to join the group because they want to filter out any
people like me, any trolls.
Yeah.
any trolls and anyone who they're very clear in their rules that they do not support your theory of alternate dimensions. They want to remain very grounded in reality.
Oh no,
I
you can't
know.
be part of the
I
club.
I know. Yeah,
No
so they have very,
DeVito's allowed.
they have very interesting group rules, but it's to add they want to keep legitimacy to their group, I suppose.
Fuck me, huh? Oh my god.
Okay, it says here, yeah, this group that it does not support the woo-woo perspective of cloaking, morphing, turning into orbs, moving between dimensions, mind speaking to humans, or any other things not related to a breathing critter that bleeds like us humans. Things such as crop circles or ghosts may be used as an example towards the Sasquatch Bigfoot, but please refrain from defending those ideas, for this site is focused on Sasquatch/Bigfoot, and there's other groups out there to defend or condemn things not related to the big fellas and gals. So they have very strict
not happy.
guidelines.
He's
for
not
Sasquatch.
happy.
No,
Like,
I mean, I gotta respect people's decisions, and like, you know what I mean. I'm not gonna like, hey, some people are running shows that it's just we're just not a good fit for. Hey, fair enough. I gotta let you go do your own thing, but go fuck yourself.
This is what this
If
is.
I'm over here.
This
you know
is
what I
a
mean?
woke comedy show trying to
is
hire you.
100%.
Yeah.
Right?
Being like, listen, I want to be right. I'm like, yeah, listen, you can't.
yeah.
Fair.
It is what it is, and you know what, I understand, and I have to, I gotta let them go off. On their own, and I'll support them and shit like that. I feel like it's weird that I'm gonna be over here fucking in the dark, still like doing my thing, still holding the flag. You know what I mean? Holding the
So-
torch, the truth to the light.
So you can still join the group. You just can't bring that conversation.
I
into
just
the
can't
group.
talk about the thing that I'm most passionate.
But can he join the group, Jackie? Can he morally, deep down?
Deep
he
down,
knows.
morally, I won't be able to answer that questionnaire 100% confidently. So they're gonna have
Or
to look over.
honestly.
Or
And you're an
honestly.
honest man.
I am,
You are
right?
an
You know what I
honest
mean?
man,
I
You're an
fucking-
emotional boy, and you're a soft man. And you're
That's
honest
true.
man.
These are all the
Good
things that I am.
stuff.
These are all the things that I am, right? These are all the things that I've become. These are all the things that I've turned into, right? And I just want to be. I want to be the change that I want to see in the world, right? So I can't be, knocking on a door of an organization that doesn't want me, no matter how much we have in common and how much fun it would be on the weekends.
You know
to
what,
hang out.
Johnny DeVito? They don't need you.
They don't. Yeah. Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Thanks, bro. I fucking needed that right now.
They don't need you, not you. Don't need them.
Oh man, that's a really weird way to look at it. Actually, when you put it like that, I feel terrible.
Yeah, I do too now.
They don't need you.
Yeah.
They
That's supposed
don't
to be a
need you.
cool bonding thing. And apparently, I'm just an asshole.
Fuck, man.
They don't need you.
Yeah, you know what? They don't
doing
need you.
just fine
That's
without
a really
you.
good way to slip one and like pass. I'm like, yeah, you know what? They don't need you.
Perhaps
This
they don't
backhanded
deserve
conflict.
you.
It's like I felt good about it. I was gonna walk home and not realize that
They don't need me.
Hey, they don't need me. It's fine.
Perhaps they don't deserve you.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Okay.
Words.
All right. They're important.
But to be a Binder's advocate here.
Yeah, Bindernagel.
Maybe the reason why they don't want that talk in the group is not because they don't support it, but because they know to non-believers that's the first thing that they're gonna see and be like, this is bullshit.
It does sound
And
a
they're
little hokey, I get
trying
it.
to, keep the credibility that this group has garnered over the years. And so maybe that's why they've had to draw a hard line in the sand, not for not believing or not trusting the multiple dimension theory, but because they have to unfortunately think of the non-believers who are going to question the validity of this group.
And it makes perfect sense, right? The things that like that you laugh about or whatever, right? Something that could be very funny. How are you going to take it to the stage, right? How's an audience going to perceive this?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And how are you going to connect with with those people, right? So if you're going to do that, definitely you're fighting an uphill battle with anything Bigfoot, and I understand what they're doing.
So it was your last name's Bindernagel. It's like almost two slurs combined.
I wonder if he played hockey and he had the move like the Bindernagel Dangle or something like that.
Would you look at that Bindernagel Dangle? That'd be sick.
That's good.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm sure he was a great man, and I I stand for everything that he believed in, even though he doesn't stand for anything that I believe in.
But apparently Bindernagel wrote a couple books that I'm currently looking for.
Oh, hell yeah. We got to get Bindernagel on the bookshelf for sure.
Yeah, but just very excited to know that there is an organization on my home turf
that actively excludes your boyfriend. That's awesome.
No.
Look, couples need their own things.
Yeah.
I know that you're really into it, but
It would hurt me so bad.
Some of us are in the Bindernagel school of thought. Others are fucking retards.
It's not the first time I've been called that by you this week. So
why'd they break up? The Bindernagel.
They've been through a
It was
lot
fucking
together.
Bindernagel, man.
Fucking Bindernagel.
You know she went to BinderCon? You know she fucking went to BinderCon?
That fucking bitch.
Johnny's just over here bitching to me like, you believe she went to BinderCon?
Can you believe she went to BinderCon?
What an awkward conversation.
She just knows that we were gonna. I think that's the problem. Sometimes being such an emotional soft boy, I can be so passionate about something that I just assume that you take my side. Because if we're talking about something, like we really do, and then if you might not share those same beliefs, and you might not be like as ready to ride. You know what I mean on certain enemies as I am. But that's okay. That's something that I got to figure out, right? Because every time, like if we're watching a show or we're talking about like a celebrity or something like that, I always ask you, do we like them?
Right.
And you say yeah or you say no, right? And I'll be like, okay, because like I'll fucking ride or die, right? But apparently that is not, those ideals aren't fully shared on your side of the
That's the Bindernagel effect, bro.
It's the Bindernagel effect. And you know what I mean? I'm fine with it. Like we'll still learn to love.
Okay.
We're going to be fine. And Dara Turner is phoning us right now. He's 15 minutes early.
Tell him to hold his horses there. You can pick up if you want and tell him that
it's vibrating under my butt, and it felt really good.
Okay, let me
What's
put
up?
a stop
It wasn't
to that.
at first, though. It was beside him.
Yeah,
right.
Then he
Stuck
put it
it
under his butt.
Yeah. Hey, buddy. Nothing. We're just recording an episode. What are you doing?
Is he fucking canceling on us?
Oh, can I listen to the voice memo on the show? Okay, absolutely. Yeah, no, yeah, we got about 10, 15 minutes here, and then we'll get back to you. Okay, bye-bye.
Oh, no.
That was our next week's guest. Or depending on how these episodes come out, maybe the last week's guest?
Last week's guest.
Last week's guest, Darren.
Did he just flake?
Huh?
Did he just bail?
I don't think he just bailed. He just sent
Okay.
me a
Okay.
he just said he just sent me a voice note.
Oh, dear.
So this might be, we're going to find out.
Okay.
He said the suspense is killing him right now.
Put the mic up to it.
Hey gang, morning. I am really excited to do this, but I just got up and looked in the mirror. I look like a piece of shit. Like I really need a haircut. My voice is fucking... I think I have a call down now. My voice sounds like shit. Basically what I'm trying to say is this is my first video podcast and I'm pretty nervous about it. Do you think there's any chance we could postpone this?
What a bitch. What a bitch.
Sound better? If not, if you really want to film it today, then we can. But if you
Yeah, that effort sounds fantastic, dude. Yeah, I really want to get behind that idea.
Yeah.
my fucking voice now sounds like shit right now.
Oh, it's
so
your
weird.
voice, right?
It's weird because he went to bed early last night.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
right.
Yeah, he really took care of himself. Eh?
Yeah.
He was really looking forward to
What
it.
He
a
didn't know he had to do it or
little
anything.
Oh my
This
goodness.
fucking bitch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's some weak ass shit. It's
Yeah.
funny because I heard him like open a door there, and I thought that he was like walking into the.
Yeah, it seemed that he was here.
Okay. Well.
I mean,
I guess not last week's guest.
I
or
guess
this
probably
week's
next week's guest.
guest. Jesus fucking Christ!
What
Well,
a
no,
piece
he's in
of
the
shit.
back of the line because we got people coming up. We got other shit.
Yeah, we're gonna push him back to fucking
To November.
2023.
Sorry,
Yeah.
buddy.
You missed your window there, bud.
got a
We'll
lot of
get
exciting
Dara
guests
Bork
coming
back
up.
on.
We do. we do
do.
actually.
Yeah,
Yeah,
a
we
lot
got some
of-
fucking
we got
really
some
good
great
guests
guests
coming
lined
up.
up. Yeah.
So I mean, Dara, we were like, you're a good friend of ours. We're throwing
Yeah.
you a bone here, kid.
Yeah, you were at the front of the line. Anyways, I guess we should get into the album.
We got a hell of an
Yeah.
album tonight. We got a hell of an album
We
tonight.
have
we
a
do.
fucking great album. We have Sheryl Crow's 2002 hit, Come On.
So good.
Again.
So good. So this is her fourth studio album, released April 2002. Contains some of her biggest fucking hits. I mean, you got
Absolute
Soak
bangers.
Up the Sun.
Hey-o.
You got Steve McQueen.
Like Steve
Oh,
McQueen.
yeah.
I don't know who that guy is. We're gonna talk about it later.
yeah.
We're gonna have a Brian Johnson moment here. And we're excited about it.
But so this album, it's kind of marked her departure from the kind of rock folk influences of her earlier albums into very much more pop focused.
Very much so, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, did she? What was the earlier stuff sounding like? Was it a little bit
So
more
it
like
was
indie?
It was
like-
like car wash and shit like that car wash.
Yeah, and
song
like
where-
All I Want to Do,
Yeah.
First Cut is the Deepest, kind of more.
When I was
yeah.
a kid, me and my brother used to.
Those albums were
we used
fire,
to
dude.
laugh like,
Yeah.
all I want to do is fart and poo, and then we make fart sounds. It was awesome. That was something. Till the sun comes up.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a classic early 2000s album. I mean, another great mom album. I mean, my
yeah,
mom
again,
fucking
if we're
rocked
talking
it.
7 disc changers.
Yeah, it's we
This
got
might
we
come in
got-
at number 7,
we got
but it's
Come
still
On-
in there.
Yeah, we got Come On Over, and then we got
Absolutely.
Come On.
yeah. And then we got Andrea Bocelli doing both of those albums in CDs 4 and 5 for some reason.
Mom was going through some weird shit.
Yeah.
Oh, there's always a Bocelli album in there.
Yeah, but yeah, this album. I mean, again, it's just another one that reminds me of like in the car with my mom.
Road trips for
fucking,
sure.
Yeah, or just like just in like fucking going to skating practice. I mean, as like you've seen now where I grew up, everywhere we went required at least a 20-minute drive.
This is true.
Definitely.
So yeah,
I thought
driving
you were
to
gonna say
skating
requires
practice,
Sheryl Crow.
and that too,
Yeah.
Sheryl Crow
Have to get
and
in.
or Shania Twain.
They'll pat you down.
Yeah,
Make sure you have at least a
yeah.
tape on.
Matchbox 20 as well was in, and Bare Naked Ladies was in
BNLs?
a yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, it reminds me of just in
Very
the car with my
diverse.
mom. Yeah, super diverse lineup in Julie's car there.
A lot of worldly stuff there.
Yeah, a lot of Canadian jams
Sorry, guys.
there.
Yeah,
Like,
they're
I
really
guess Sheryl
and not
Crow would
like
be
a not
yeah.
an on purpose like I'm seeking a Canadian artist.
Yeah.
Not even at a tragically hip level. This
yeah,
is like
though
a
tragically
internet-
hip would be in there
for
too.
100%.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is like
Yeah.
yeah,
Cream of the
that's-
crop.
Yeah, but yeah, just a classic album, a great summer album. I wanted to do it in the summer, but you know, time gets away from you.
For sure.
But
I don't think
yeah.
it's ever like a bad time to listen. And I mean, if you're in
It's
the
a good
Vancouver area, we
feel-good
still
album,
have
you
like
know?
25 degrees coming next week and stuff. So
It's
I
been
mean,
very,
soak
yeah,
up
very nice.
whatever sun you got.
We're still soaking up the sun here
Yeah.
here in Vancouver. And Safe and Sound, the song on this album, is dedicated to her ex, Owen Wilson.
Oh,
yeah.
that's right.
Yeah. It's Sheryl. Sheryl Crow has gotten around. She was with Lance Armstrong for a hot minute there
Till he
too.
got-
Oh
till
yeah,
he
when
got
he was
fucking
on his
on his tour of France.
I'm sure
Yeah,
that
when
was
he was
first
on
one of
his
his.
tour as
I think
France.
he did about 7.
Yeah.
know what
But
it-
when he was on his run there, when he was fucking winning it every year, it would always go to Sheryl Crow in the crowd.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh.
fuck yeah.
Yeah, she was the one that was
Yeah.
supplying him with all that stuff.
Yeah,
Oh,
right.
definitely.
Oh,
Well,
she
I
knew
just
what
saw
was
it.
going on. For
I thought
sure.
Sheryl Crow's pussy was just human growth hormone. Like I thought that's where it came from.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I was like,
She's-
that was such a huge thing. But like, I like how nobody talked about the rest of the writers. 'Cause
Dude.
there
Well,
was
that's
like
the thing is
the
if you go
22
down, yeah.
people, like
It's
all
fucking
of the
crazy.
top
Yeah.
22 are all choosing.
Yeah.
It's like
I
who
would
gives a
like
fuck?
if
They're
you
writing
got
up
to
the-
the fucking
yeah.
23rd guy with just 8 medals and be like, "Hey man, you earned these." Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
Well, yeah, it's like he got the heat because he was the one that was always winning. But yeah, that was the thing. If you like went down to the first clean person, it was like fucking way down the
Fuck
list.
outta
I mean, Oh, have you seen
How do we feel about that? Because like, what do you think about Barry Bonds and Mark McGwire and stuff
Love it.
like
That's
that?
the best time of baseball. Who gives a
100%.
fuck about Mike Judge hitting 62 home? Who gives a shit?
62 home runs.
In
Yeah.
the
Fuck
American
yourself
League or
for
whatever, it's
62
like
fucking
no
home
one
runs.
cares.
Yeah, they're
I'm
like,
with you,
oh,
man.
like you can't cheat or whatever. It's like people are fucking cheating left, right, and center.
In
Like let's
every
fucking
fucking
get
sport,
over
in
it.
sports
Yeah.
that are like have way
They're always
bigger
gonna
consequences
find a
than
way to do it.
baseball or riding a bicycle.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Fucking, you saw the Athletics fucking like 2 years ago or whatever. People are
Also,
gonna
is
continue
anyone
fucking-
surprised that a guy who had cancer was on steroids?
Right?
What the fuck are we talking
Yeah,
about?
right.
here?
It was kind of putting him on an even playing
Give him
field,
a
right?
fucking
Yeah.
break. He's just riding a bike. Who gives a
Yeah.
fuck?
What's
Can you
that?
imagine? Or you turns out Terry Fox fucking.
Terry Fox on
Yeah.
the juice.
was
They
on the
strip him.
juice.
Yeah.
They start pulling fucking statues down
they
from
strip
fucking
him.
Prince Edward Island all the way to fucking Victoria.
Strip him of his other leg. Like,
They dig him up and cut the other one off. Fuck! It's about time. Nobody's. We need to dig him up. We need to look into. I think you can, if you could carbon date shit, then you could probably like look at his bones and shit and see if maybe he was.
I like it. Like you're gonna dig him up as if he didn't even have a prosthetic leg to begin with. Like it's a Jebediah Springfield situation with
Yeah.
a silver tongue.
yeah.
Wait a minute. There's no prosthetic leg in here at all.
This was this is how like the Canadian version of National Treasure would start. Is that now we have to like break into, we have to go to Ottawa and break into one of them buildings or some shit and like find, you know what I mean? Like the
It's been
truth.
preserved. Yeah.
Totally, right? Because I
Preserved
guarantee
like
if you
Walt
find
Disney.
out right now, then there's like Terry Fox is somewhere locked up in an Ottawa basement, and Justin Trudeau has to suck his cock to keep his powers of being young so long. I think that might.
Probably
thing?
that checks out.
How long does it
Justin
take
Tru-
for a penis to
that
rot off
would
a body?
account for Justin Trudeau's behavior as of late. He's
gotta
on
suck-
a rip lately. When
Yeah.
he fucking after the Queen died, he was like singing Bohemian Rhapsody in a pub in England.
Oh,
and
yeah.
shit. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
He's been doing some bizarre things lately.
I feel like somebody like has the
Well, he's on the
robot
home
just
stretch,
sort of-
right? Isn't he?
Totally.
yeah. Though in Canada, there's no term limits.
Oh really? I thought there was for some reason.
We can have
Yeah.
this
I
fucking guy
fucking get
forever.
involved.
Yeah, dude. Have you
That's
ever
I
why
don't
thought
give a
fucking
fuck.
Stephen
I
Harper
have
was
in
in
the
power
past,
for
yes.
forever.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Me,
Yeah.
me too.
A lot of people are offering to put shit on my lawn. This.
Oh yeah.
Or,
yeah,
no, like,
I got a
fuck
thing
off.
sent to me too. Yeah.
No, people are like knocking on my door, being
Oh,
like, "Oh,
really?
hey, can we put this?" Like you don't mind if we just put this sign on your lawn? And I'm like, "No, I do."
Yeah.
And they're like, "Really?" You're like, "Yeah,
Fuck up.
I don't care."
It is frustrating the voting system in Canada because I encourage everyone to vote, but it is frustrating the system in Canada. The fucking whatever you call it, first past the post or whatever the fucking system's called. It's
Favorite football play.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, you want a button hook vote?
Yeah, it's a completely like rigged
route.
voting system. It's not like whoever gets the most votes wins kind of thing. The way that they divide the
To
country.
be
up.
fair, I don't think that's how America's system works either.
It's not how anything
Oh,
works.
yeah, no, I don't think
They've proven that several times
Yeah.
at the highest level, actually.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I don't think
But
there is a
it's-
perfect system, but we
yeah.
could all be doing a little better. Guys.
It's crazy though because every single fucking Canadian politician runs on they're gonna finally change the voting system, and then that voting system gets them into power, and they're like,
Yeah, they're like,
Hey,
"Whoa,
you
is
know
it
what?
not bad?"
It's
Yeah.
actually pretty good.
yeah,
Pretty
and then
worked out
what
for me.
Justin Trudeau did is like, how about we legalize weed? Yeah, we'll legalize weed,
How about we
right?
keep the vote the way it is?
Yeah,
You guys like that dope, huh?
yeah.
Daddy give you more dope.
But Sheryl Crow, what did you guys think of the album?
I fucking loved it. It was a fucking trip down memory lane. Like you said, I think that you really have a knack for like tapping into nostalgia in the past like few albums or whatever. Definitely with Sheryl and Shania, and you're kind of bringing them like into my like regular life. I don't know if I know the lyrics to Steve McQueen, but I sing that shit real loud in the car.
Yeah, so we were in the
I
car.
don't need your War Machine or something like that. I was like, that's a fucking dope
Yeah.
song.
Well, so
It's not a Black Sabbath song.
I know, but that's what
not the lyrics.
I fucked up the lyrics the other day. when I was-
Cheryl is
Yeah.
metal
Yeah,
as
it's
fuck.
I thought it was rad. Like, in my head, that's what the lyrics are to me.
we were
Cheryl's
driving
punk as fuck.
on the way back from that fucking gig on Thursday, and Steve McQueen comes on, and Johnny's like, "Oh, I love this song. I don't know who Steve McQueen is," and I go, "Oh, he was," and then he's like, "Don't tell me."
You don't know who Steve McQueen
No, we gotta
is?
find out here.
To this
Yeah.
day, so how do we read the lyrics, and you can try and guess from knowing.
Oh, I
the
like
Oh
this.
no!
Yeah.
Okay, it's been right in front of me the whole time.
Okay. Well, I went to bed in Memphis. and I woke up in Hollywood. I got a quarter in my pocket, and I'd call you if I could, but I don't know why. I gotta fly. I want to rock and roll this party. I still want to have some fun. I want to leave you feeling breathless, show you how the West was won. But I gotta fly. I gotta fly.
Okay.
Like Steve McQueen. all I need's a fast machine, and I'm gonna make it all right. Ooh,
I got nothing so far.
like Steve McQueen. Underneath your radar screen.
Probably that's where the War Machine thing came.
Oh, I see that.
I'm just singing it. I'm making my own shit up.
I ain't taking shit off no one. Baby, that was yesterday.
Oh.
I'm an all-American rebel, making my big getaway.
Sheryl.
Yeah, you know it's time. I gotta fly.
I'm rock hard right now. Keep going.
I think Sheryl Crow's spoken word could be its own.
Oh,
genre.
hell yeah, dude. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Like Steve McQueen. All I need's a fast machine, and I'm gonna make it all right.
Is Steve McQueen like a race car driver? Motorcycle fast guy?
No, quite. Not quite.
I only know Evel Knievel. I'm not big into motorcycles.
So Steve McQueen was an American actor.
No, an actor who's known for like
racing, yeah.
stunt and like, but it
Oh.
always had a car. Like the movie
Yeah.
Cars.
Yeah.
It's like that lead character is
Lightning
called
McQueen.
Lightning McQueen is like an
Yeah.
homage to.
Yeah.
Now he's
What,
known
do
to
I know
have
that-
like
do
a
I-
famous car too that was in like, cause he's been in some epic fucking movies. He was kind of like one of the OG like just badass dude, like just like I'm a fucking all American guy, like I'm fucking Steve
Yeah.
McQueen. I'm
Like fucking
Steve-
Paul
like,
Newman.
A coolest, totally
Okay.
Paul
Very
Newman
Paul
vibes.
Newman.
Okay.
I would say Paul Newman like after Steve McQueen kind of vibe.
Oh, okay. So how old are we
Yeah.
talking here? Would I recognize any of the films that he was in?
He's an older. I don't even know.
Probably like 70s and shit like that. I think
Like
was
any
like his
Hitchcock
main.
stuff or fucking like
No,
No.
it would have been
Like
post
like noirs?
Hitchcock. Here,
Post
let's see
Hitchcock.
his
I think like 70s and shit were his big.
filmography
Okay.
here. Steve McQueen filmography. The King of Cool.
Yeah.
That's what they called him.
Fuck yeah, man.
There was a specific car
Can I
that
see a
he
picture?
liked too. I can't remember what it was.
Oh, that guy fucks for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Dead or wanted, dead or alive.
Yeah.
He's always got like he always kind of wore like a
Magnificent
bomber, like the bomber jacket, kind
Yeah,
of with the
man.
fucking sheep
Hell
wool
yeah.
and like it's cool as fuck,
Yeah.
dude. Like OG fonts.
Totally.
Yeah, yeah.
That's rad.
So yeah, actors.
Fuck
yeah, yeah.
I want to
cool
be like
actor.
Steve McQueen.
Yeah,
That's why I
right?
was kind of blown away. I was like, oh, I feel like
Like you.
listen. And I was like, yeah, of course, not having a dad. I'm like,
Yeah.
Steve McQueen seems like a valuable option for me.
Yeah,
I shall watch these movies.
You know
He's a
every
great
positive male role
Yeah.
model that there is.
Yeah,
And what
Steve
you're going to
McQueen.
say to him on the off chance you get to meet.
Yeah.
Let's see what good.
He's fast. Steve McQueen. That's he's super fast. Hey, see me.
We be my father.
Please be my father.
I was telling Johnny though, my hot take on this album, because it has some of her fucking biggest hits, right? And Sheryl Crow, might I say, is a hit maker. I mean, if you look at her in
She's
her
learned
in
from the
her-
best. She's a backup singer for Michael Jackson.
Get
There
out
we
of
go.
here. Wow.
Yeah. She has so many fucking hits. But I would say on this album, even with all of like some of her most popular songs, I think the biggest banger is towards the latter end of the album, Over You.
Oh, that is a
Yeah.
fucking really good song.
Right? It's a fucking great
Yeah.
song.
It was we were listening to it on the way home from like the worst shit show in the world the other day. And it was funny because that kind of like I think for me for music or whatever, like if we're gonna be like in the car together, then there has to be like a tempo of like up to here or whatever for me to be like I don't know, right? Or else like music couldn't affect me. I'm a soft boy. I'm an emotional boy, right? So when it goes like to that song, I was sitting there and it was all like self-reflective for a minute and shit, and I was like, man, what a lovely song, and it is a banger.
Yeah, it's a great song. I enjoy it a lot. And yeah,
When you were like, no, I'm like, this is the fucking song, and you put it on, I was like, get the fuck out of here. But
It's a pretty cohesive album, like front to back, for
is.
being such a switch up for what she's used to. Sometimes I think when artists do this, it's kind of like they're like this is like this Change album is always like a bit of a like just throw shit on the
2
wall
or 3 studio hits
Right.
and be like,
kind of thing,
what's
right?
this like, and that helps shape the next little chapter kind of thing. There's always
Yeah.
that like in between album or something like that.
Yeah.
And this is like, oh no, she like. Or you nailed this sound like off the
Yeah.
get go.
Oh,
Very
yeah.
similar to Shania in that regard.
Totally.
Yeah.
And like the lyrics, like is very introspective. Like you can tell she's kind of going through some shit. Like it isn't just like kind of empty lyrics.
Hey, you break up
like,
with Owen
filling
Wilson.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, yeah,
fucking-
that's gonna go
You're gonna
through,
write
yeah.
an album about it.
Definitely.
He's gonna
over there
slit his
crashing
wrists.
weddings and
Yeah.
shit like that. Fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
You got some things to say.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, great album, great. Even like the album cover, it's like fun summertime. You know, like with the
Yeah.
orange and the
Yeah.
yellow.
Oh, totally.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
It reminds me of an Elwood album cover. Every time that like it's on the with the screen in the car or whatever, so when it comes on or whatever, it reminds me of an album that I'm very nostalgic about. I was like, no, Sheryl. It's still dope.
Yeah. But yeah, great album. Before we go, speaking of albums, there was
Yeah, I knew we couldn't go and everything. I'm like, we're gonna mention it.
yeah. Oh my God. So Chili Peppers' new
Oh, is
album
there something new
came
that
out.
just came out?
It came out yesterday. I cleared my day for this album. Had a great day. It was like the first day that I haven't had to do anything in like 2 weeks. Fucking woke up, went to the store, bought it on vinyl, and I specifically had not listened to it on Spotify or anything beforehand. When I walk into Neptune Records, I can hear that there's a new Chili Pepper song playing, and I'm like, oh, I gotta get in and out of here as quick as possible. I'm not listening. But yeah, then came home, put it on the record player. Oh my God, it's such a fucking good album. I would say might be even better than the last one. Like they definitely saved some of the best shit for this one. Fucking John on this album. Oh my God.
I have a feeling this is
guitar
gonna
is
be.
guitar
I
heavy.
have a feeling
I
it's gonna be
think
a
that-
heavy John album just
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
the promotion that I've seen.
Oh,
I've
man.
started to join like just groups and shit like that of like
Yeah.
for Shanti World and like just the Chili's and shit like that. And
Oh,
like
yeah.
the push for this is like even the photos that are taken for the album, like
Very
that one that you
John
posted that
forward.
you got with it. It's like
Yeah.
John's kind of the middle guy. Like
Totally.
yeah.
Very-
I
mean,
love
this-
the celebration of John Frusciante.
Absolutely.
I
Man,
feel like
it's
it's like
Absolutely.
been the longest time coming to celebrate
Yeah.
how good of a guitar player this
Oh,
guy
fuck
is.
yeah.
I
He's
feel
getting his
like
flowers.
It's been like so amazing. Like this whole ever since the build up to the first album, this whole tour and the build up to this album, it has been like so John forward. And like even at the concert, I mean, he
Jesus.
fucking opened it up and
Yeah.
there were so many like moments for him to kind of do his thing and fucking the crowd's going crazy every time he has a fucking solo. Like this whole ever since he's come back, they've just been like elevating John. Which is like interesting because knowing like his personality, what
Not
we
that
know of
dude.
it, yeah, I don't know if
Definitely.
if he would be loving that much, but I do think
he
it's out
does
of
seem to be kind of flourishing in it though, right?
yeah.
He's
But I
like
was gonna say I think because it's out of love because he can probably feel that everyone like loves him and has missed him so much.
Yeah.
Then maybe it's kind of a different thing than
plus
when
like a company's pushing you a record like for
Exactly.
sales or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
But-
very
It's almost
Yeah.
like the band is
organic.
even being like, hey man, you're the shit. Fucking
Yeah, it's a very organic thing
Yeah.
of your friends just putting you over.
But,
That's what it
there's-
feels like.
There's a couple tracks on this album that are so different from any other Chili Pepper songs I've heard before, and there's a couple tracks where fucking John's rocking the synth.
Yeah,
like
there's
he's
some- there's
doing
some-
some of his
there's some
cool
electronic
like
shit at the end,
electronic
yeah.
shit. It's very interesting.
I love it.
But there's this fucking song. It's the second to last song. I'm gonna find the name of it. It's like very Jimi Hendrix. It's so fucking good. Like one of my favorite songs they've ever put out. I like as soon as the album ended, I was like, I have to fucking go back and listen to that song. Carry Me Home. Oh my
I'll
God,
peep
it's
that.
so
Hell yeah, it would be
fucking
that.
good. It's so fucking good. So I encourage everyone to fucking listen to that. Listen to Sheryl Crow for sure, but like
Then right after you pump it in your peppers out.
When you're done, you got some other work to do. Then come back and talk to us.
yeah, we'll be doing that album whenever it's my next turn, obviously, to do an album. Yeah.
Yeah.
But oh my God, it's very exciting. I'm really hoping they're gonna announce another leg of their tour, wherever they go, whether they come to Vancouver or they go to Seattle again or wherever is in
You'll be
reasonable
there.
driving.
We're gonna be there.
We're gonna be
We
there.
will be there.
So good. Yeah, great.
Sick.
Looking
Great
forward
stuff.
to it.
Great
Yeah.
pick, Jackie. That was a
kicks
fun
ass.
album.
Yeah, this is fun, and I
definitely.
guess we'll be. I guess we're not going to be recording with Dara today. What a piece of shit. Like,
Yeah, you know what?
waits till 15 minutes before he's supposed to be here.
Unfucking real. I'm kind of shocked that it happened, but I'm not surprised because I just understand the dirtbag and I understand the dirtbag way of life.
Yeah. The best part is like because he was messaging us the whole night, so it's not like he can kind of try and back out
he's
of
like
it.
it's like when one of your staff calls in.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
exactly.
Oh, you're
It's Friday.
sick on New Year's Day. Get the fuck out of here.
The thing that fucking pisses me off is that, like, okay, so it's Friday night or whatever. You're gonna go and do
He
your
knew.
thing.
He
you know
knew.
who was fucked up last
Yeah.
night? Me. You know who's fucking here right now? I am.
Yeah.
Pussy.
Right? He knew. He knew that he had this on his schedule. So
this shit
we'll
happens.
see you in a few months, Dara.
Absolutely.
And on that note, we're out.
All right,
Peace.
peace.